friends! Today, instead of talking about all of the must-do things and things you have to do in Korea, which I have already gone through quite extensively in my previous videos, I decided today I will share with you my personal bucket list of things that I want to do in Korea. If you're new here, welcome! My name is Amy. I like to share my travel experiences through videos like these and travel vlogs. I also like exploring new places but at a slower pace to really soak in the culture. I also post more my day-to-day activities and adventures over on my Instagram, so be sure to give that a follow. Alright, so if you have similar interests as me, like I watch a lot of K-drama, I'm a big fan of K-pop, especially third gen, and also, of course, I love Korean beauty. I'm a huge skincare geek. So if you have any of those common interests as me, some of these items might be right up your alley, so grab a notepad and let's get to it. Now keep in mind, some of these things I've already done already, so I'll be sure to talk about them a little bit more in detail or refer you to a previous video where I've talked about it before. And also, please note that there might be some overlap with my other travel guide videos, but I hope that this will give you a little bit of insight of like who I am as a person, what you can expect out of my travel vlogs, and let's get to it. The first one that I have on my list is, if you've watched a Korean drama, you most likely know about the jjimjibangs, which is like the traditional Korean spas. That was definitely on the top of my bucket list for the longest time, was to go to a jjimjibang, you know, do the classic sheep ear towels and like drink my shike with the hard-boiled eggs. And I was so excited to have done that. I do have to give a warning that in the locker room and also in the showers, there is going to be a lot of nudity. Like, people are very free in there, I guess. Just be mentally prepared for that. You can get through it really quickly and then move on to, you know, the clothed portion of the experience and like spend most of your time there, but I do know that it would come as a culture shock to a lot of people who may not be expecting it. If you're a little bit more daring, you can also offer the classic Korean spa scrub. I didn't do it when I was in Korea, but I did do it when I was in Hawaii, oddly enough. I will just let you know that it's a very unique experience. Be prepared to be like descaled like a fish. They literally just like flop you all over the place on this like mat. You're just like bared for all to see. So yeah, definitely be prepared for that if you want to brave that experience. If you're not into the traditional bathhouses, if you're not, you know, sure if you'll be completely comfortable in those kinds of situations, you can always pamper yourself with beauty facials and treatments at a beauty spa or beauty clinic. Some of the more well-known ones to check out would be like Sohwasu or like Shengpri. Note that Shengpri only allows females. I also went to Toy Arake, and you can check out my experience here in this vlog. But I have also visited Shengpri, and then my friend went to Sohwasu. Sohwasu is a little bit expensive, but they really do like douse you head to toe in Sohwasu products, which is pricey in itself. So that also be, you know, very pampering. I've been saying pamper a lot. Korea is a hub of advanced technology for beauty treatments, and so I personally really want to go to one of those beauty clinics. I've heard that they offer a lot of different types of services, including like 30-minute quick facials that like really deliver, and I feel like the prices might be a little cheaper. It won't have as much of that luxury feel as beauty spas would, but you would still be getting top of the line care and like top of the line products for your treatment. Speaking of Korean beauty, did you know that Korean skincare is known to be a pioneer of using ingredients that have never been used before and never even heard of before? Take this Coxir Black Snail Collagen line, for example. You might be thinking, Black Snail Collagen, what the heck is that? It refers to the three main ingredients of this line, which is black beans, snail secretion filtrate, aka snail mucin, and collagen. Those who are more used to Western skincare may be a little bit out of their element when dealing with Korean skincare, but I swear there is a method to their madness. In other words, it works. This Coxir line, for example, is great for nourishing the skin, providing anti-wrinkle benefits, and repairing and restoring the skin barrier. The initial texture of this cream is very unexpected. It's very slimy and gooey, but once on the skin, it applies and sinks in so beautifully, leaving my skin softer and smoother than before. Snail mucin also has the added benefit of healing blemishes, making this a perfect line for sensitive and acne-prone skin, aka me! But really, I could see this working for all skin types. Thanks to Coxir for sponsoring today's video, and if you're interested in their products, make sure to check out the description box below. And remember, don't discount what may seem weird because you never know what results you can get from it. Okay, back to my ultimate list of things to do in Korea. While we're on the topic of beauty, I would love to get a beauty makeover done by a celebrity makeup artist while in Korea. Because I'm such a fan of the Korean beauty aesthetics, I think it would be a really cool experience to have a professional do my makeup for me, because then I can learn what are the actual products that they use and how do they use it, and to create this kind of look. Some of the places that I had considered checking out were Jenny House, which houses the makeup artist for Suzy, or Bit and Boot, who is known for doing NCT, EXO, Twice's makeup, and I still might want to do it in my next trip or something like that, so be sure to follow along if you're interested in seeing what Amy gets up to abroad. And then another thing similarly to that is, because I'm such a big fan of Korean aesthetics, I was always jealous of how the idol's hair could remain so shiny and pretty and healthy looking on screen, when I know that they must do a ton of stuff to bleach it and color it every 3 months or so. That was definitely one of the things that was on my list of things I wanted to do in Korea, was to get my hair done in Korea, and you can see a little bit more about my experience here in my hair perm vlog. One thing I really love about Korean hair salons is that not only do they pay a lot of attention to your hair and they really take care of your hair and teach you how to take care of it, but they also take care of you. They give you snacks, they give you drinks, they always make sure that you are comfortable. Getting your hair done is a long ordeal. It takes maybe 2 to 3 hours, especially if you're getting it colored or permed. So then they give you cushions for you so that when you're using your phone it's comfortable, and it's just something that you don't really get at other salons, I guess. Okay, and then this next one is a recent addition to my bucket list, and that is to get a personal color analysis in Korea. If you're not familiar, a personal color analysis basically determines the undertone of your skin, and then determines what is your color palette and what colors work well for you in terms of clothing, makeup, hair color, everything. That is something that really took off in the recent years, and that is something that I really want to get done, because as something I've always struggled with, I was I like certain colors on me, and I am drawn to certain colors to wear and stuff like that, but I don't actually know. So having someone analyze that for me and provide me a portfolio of this is everything that works for you, that is peak idealness for me. And then there are some services that do offer this kind of analysis in English as well in Korea, so I'll list a few of those resources down in the description box as well. Visit the entertainment companies. Honestly speaking, when I first visited Korea in 2018, was it? I don't even remember what year it was. First time I visited Korea with my friend, I actually did not care to visit the entertainment companies. In my head, I was just it's just a building, it's not really that special. I'd rather spend my time doing something more meaningful and have more experience-driven experiences. But we actually ended up passing by SM Town and saw a cafe and everything. I was oh, that's pretty cool. It's indulging in my fangirl heart a little bit. And then we were in the area of JYP's building, so I was okay, that's pretty. At the time, I was a really big GOT7 fan, so I was okay, this is kind of legit. I remember in variety shows and stuff, they would always show the building, and then walking around the area. We also saw some fans with goodie bags waiting for idols to give them to them. I thought that was really fun. So we ended up going to YG as well. I would recommend to do this activity with a fellow K-pop fan because it just makes the experience a little bit more immersive and a little bit more exciting. I remember when we were by the YG building, we saw this person passing by us with like a black hoodie and like wearing a mask and a baseball cap. I was like, what if that person was like a trainee or something? You know, it was just like little things like that that make the experience a little bit more fun and like engaging. It's not just like going to see this random building in this random neighborhood. But if you really actually want to see idols, this next one is for you. The ultimate thing on my actual bucket list is to go to a live music show. I would ideally have liked to go, I don't know, like 4 years ago when all of my favorite groups were active and, you know, like having comebacks at the same time, to see all of them at once. That is my ultimate dream. Now, I have not had the opportunity to actually go to a live viewing music show, but I had just as much fun in my last trip when I was able to see the Inkigayo send-off and also, you know, watching idols arrive for live broadcast radio shows. You can hear more about my experiences and learn more details about that whole process in my K-pop fan guide video here. In that same video, I also talk about meeting other fans at like fan events like birthday cafes and stuff like that. So I think that's a really, really cool thing to do. I always wanted to experience what the actual fan culture is like in Korea because as an international fan, I understand that like Westerners are much more aggressive and like outspoken, I guess. If you are a K-pop fan, I'm sure you understand this. I feel like idols react differently and they act differently when they are, you know, abroad. And so being able to actually be around those local fans at these types of fan events and us also at like the send-offs and stuff, it was a really, really fun experience for me to experience a different kind of K-pop like culture, I guess. There are a lot of artists that I really, really like that don't actually go abroad. And so the only way to actually see them is to see them in Korea. Some of my favorite artists like A-Pink or like IU or Akumu, like they don't perform abroad as often or ever. My dream is to like see them live, and the only way to do that is to watch them in concert in Korea. The inner park system that like deals with the ticketing is a little bit hard to navigate as a foreigner. Like sometimes you do need an ARC in order to make an account or to pay for things, but there were some resources that I have found recently that it's like a virtual assistant service where they purchase the ticket on your behalf. And so I'll link all of that information down in the description box below for those of you who might be interested as well. So the next one on my bucket list, I am very proud to say that I have done, but I want to do more of, and it is to take a class with my favorite choreographer. 1 Million was definitely one on the top of my list that I wanted to go to, and I was really happy that I got to take a class from my girl crush like choreographer Yoo Jung Lee last year when I visited Korea, because she only teaches like once a week and her classes always get packed like super fast. So I was so happy that I got to squeeze in like 3 days before I left Korea. The next few might surprise you a little bit because, as we all know, I am not an outdoorsy person. It was actually on my bucket list to hike the Seoul City Wall. If you're not familiar, it is like an iconic scene in dramas. And I did this, I think, on my second trip to Korea. I actually loved hiking Ingwon-san. And even though I was passed up by a bunch of old aunties on the way, it was still so much fun. Especially like that view at the end of the hike, like that sweeping view of Seoul with the city wall. It was like all of my K-drama dreams come true. The next one is like kind of on my list, but not really on my list. It's still debatable. I think it would be fun to hike Halasan, which is in Jeju-do, because it is the tallest peak in Korea. However, I don't actually know too much about the hike or whether or not it is doable for like a noob hiker like me. I don't know how likely it is for that one to happen. But going to Jeju-do is definitely like top of my bucket list. I would be perfectly happy to, you know, just go around the island eating halabongs and black pork belly and visit GD's cafe, you know, all the iconic stuff, eat fresh seafood. Yeah, I'd be perfectly happy with that. Okay, and then the last one might come as a surprise to you as well. The thing on my bucket list is actually to go to a temple stay. I mentioned this in my previous video, but I'm actually not the hugest fan of visiting temples, but I feel like if I were to do a temple stay, it would make me appreciate the temple a lot more. I just feel like it would be the ultimate like detox retreat that would be really, really good for my soul, to detach myself from the outer world and, you know, social media, from technology, everything, and to really be able to focus on me and also focus on like real, true inner peace. I think that's something that would be very interesting and a very unique type of experience. Okay, so there you have it. Those are all of the things that are on my Korea bucket list, whether I've done them or have thought about them or have yet to do them. I'm curious, did you find any of these items interesting? What are some of your bucket list items for Korea? Let's hear it in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe it helped spark some ideas for your next trip. As always, I hope you safe and happy travels, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!